What's up, everybody? Back for another podcast here today. We're going to do the NFL today. And got my brother with me today, Chuck, Charles Watson. Big Raider fan, just so you know. So, a big Raider fan. I'm a big Bear fan, Walter Payton. But we're going to try to be as objective as possible. But to start off, first off, I do want to thank Kenneth Roberts for allowing us to actually televise these podcasts. You can actually catch us on Roku. Just search the Life Television Network on Roku. Also, we'll be locally on Channel 43. That's WGOX at Monday and Tuesday at 8:30 p.m., Thursday at 6:30 p.m., and Saturday at 6 p.m. So we got some airtime. So this is something to look forward to. But to start off, since Chuck is here, we got to start off with a Raider question. The big off-season signing, Antonio Brown.
Yes.
Great receiver. Great receiver. Could be a troublemaker. Seems to be like is he just trying to skip camp? Is he trying to just?
Well, I mean, first of all, who's ever heard of a diva wide receiver? I'm sure this is the first time that's ever happened. I tell you, there's been a lot of drama with Antonio Brown, and I follow him a lot closer probably than most. And the guy's been working his tail off. He's in incredible shape. If you watch him run routes, he's every bit as good as he's ever been. And not just a good receiver, I think he's probably the best wide receiver in the NFL. And I expect him to have a big year. The statistics show that he likes to the place that he likes to catch the ball is the exact spot that Derek Carr likes to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. And that offense is going to go through Antonio Brown. So I expect a huge year for him.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah.
As long as he can find a helmet. As long as he finds a helmet, he'll be all right. I think they've kind of worked that out now, so that should be fine. No water under the bridge.
Water under the bridge.
Room's okay.
Oh yeah,
all right.
Okay.
Room's okay. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm extremely excited.
I know. Yeah. I expect big things from the Raiders.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to give our predictions for this year as far as who we think is going to win each division, and then give the most important player in that particular division. So we're going to start off with the AFC North, which is, of course, that's the new guns, the Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, and Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
My opinion of the AFC North, everybody's kind of high on Cleveland, of course. Baker Mayfield is a beast, he has tons of weapons. My only thing about the Cleveland Browns is the continuity between them. Are they going to be able to gel 1 year in? Now, I expect next year, not this year, but next year, they may run away with that division. But this year, I want to give them kind of a time. I think they're going to put up numbers. The defense has some athletes, but the number one team, I'm going with Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that they're tried and true in that division. Have double-digit wins every year. Mike Tomlin has been the coach. I think they're going to win that division. I do think Cleveland will make a run at them. It'll be close. It may be a tiebreaker situation. They both may be 11-5. It may be a tiebreaker situation, but I think Pittsburgh wins head-to-head and takes that division. What do you think?
I actually have Pittsburgh. I have Pittsburgh finishing third in that division, and this is why. Pittsburgh has an amazing offensive line. Their skill position guys are unproven. Juju Smith has never been in a position of number one receiver where he's going to get double teamed. He's going to get that AB treatment. I like James Washington as a real solid number two. I think wherever he is on the roster now, I think he'll end up as the number two guy. And I think potentially, I really think his upside going forward is as high, if not higher than Juju. So I'm expecting them to have trouble. They're not going to be as explosive as they've been in the past. I truly believe that a good offensive line can hide a lot. And you got Ben Roethlisberger that you don't ever want to bet against. But I'm torn between the Ravens and the Browns. The Browns, I have no doubt, if they're able to put it together, they have a chance to run away with the division if they can truly put it together, because they are the most talented.
They're the most talented team in that division.
And they're the most talented
No
team in the NFL at this moment.
Yep.
I mean, if you just go offense,
Position by
position, they are uber talented.
Right.
You know, and it's really, they're going to go as Baker Mayfield goes. So,
right. Now that's going to be the question. I mean, Baker Mayfield is good, but I mean, he's got a lot of hype for, you know, had a good rookie year, but now teams are going to be able to see film on Baker Mayfield, see what he's good at, what he can concentrate on. And so that's another holdup. How they going to gel? How they going to do 1 year in? Can he live up to that expectation? I think Pittsburgh is just tried and true. I do have Cleveland being next in that division, and I like Baltimore. Baltimore is going to be tough as well. Those three teams are going to battle it out. If Lamar Jackson can hit an open receiver,
I tell you, I think the Ravens, they're going to make every game a slugfest. So it's going to be very similar to the Ravens
2001
back
Trent Dilfer.
Exactly, but this has got a different element. That run game, when you throw the yards from the quarterback into it, they're going to have one of the most highly powered running games. As
I see them doing a lot of RPO type stuff with Mark Ingram back there. That's going to be dangerous.
Yeah. And if you remember when Michael Vick got in the league, when he first got to the league, Atlanta was always at the top of the league in total rushing because of that. So I believe they're going to be able to move a lot of chains. They're going to have a real strong third down percentage in terms of converting on third down, and their defense is rock solid, and they have the continuity of the head coach and the rest of the staff. So I truly believe that Baltimore, if Cleveland slips, Baltimore is going to pick up that slack. I have a funny feeling people are underestimating the power of having the best receiver in the league in Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, you know, at 100%. I believe that we're not looking at the same Pittsburgh Steelers of the past, but you know, the coach once again, the coaches have the continuity of the staff.
And I do think Baltimore and Pittsburgh have the best coaches in that league. Harbaugh and Tomlin are the two top coaches in that league, but I think Cleveland's talent is just undeniable. And I just think Pittsburgh always finds a way to get to 10, 11 wins. And I think that in that division, that can win the division. In that particular division,
if they can get to that,
and I think Pittsburgh can do it. So my four, I got Pittsburgh first, Cleveland second, Baltimore third, Cincinnati pulling up the rear. What's your order?
My order is, I'm going to go with Cleveland first, Baltimore second, Pittsburgh third, and Cincinnati. They're in rebuilding mode.
They're rebuilding mode.
I would be trading AJ Green, or you know, I would expect him to probably want to go to another team sometime soon.
But the thing that holds him back is that he just can't stay healthy. I mean, what is someone going to give up for? I mean, he's probably one of the top 5 receivers in the league when he's healthy. As you always told me, he's good when he's well, but he stays sick.
Yeah, exactly.
so
that's a good way to paraphrase.
But he's ultra talented. They may have arguably the best running back in that division with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is going to probably put up 1,400 rushing yards. I mean, I think Joe Mixon is going to be tough.
Yeah.
But I just don't think all around, you know, your number one receiver now is Boyd, and you know, Ross has never really kind of came
never
on.
healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
So
they're I think Cincinnati's going to have a rough. They're going to be a high drafting team next year.
Yeah.
I would bet that.
And I would think Andy Dalton may be on the hot seat in that division.
This is his last year.
Yeah.
With Cincinnati, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. So that's our AFC North. Now we're going to go to the AFC South, which the big news in that division. Andrew Luck abruptly retiring. Caught me off guard. I was actually watching the game, you know, because they played the Bears last week.
Oh yeah.
And during the game, you could hear the commotion kind of coming down, and the rumors started to go down that he was retiring. Which I can. My reaction to that, I hate that the fans reacted the way they did.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw they booed him going off the
field.
field.
I saw that.
But at the same time, as a fan, I was like, the timing could have been better.
Well, the thing about it, what I firmly believe is, they booed before they heard him speak.
Exactly. Definitely.
So, I'm sure many of them woke up the next day feeling bad, like, wow, why we overreacted.
Right.
But as a fan, you're emotional, and you basically you're getting the news for the first time that you're not going to go to the Super Bowl this year when you had Super Bowl hopes. So it's an emotional reaction. I think that many of them, if they had to go back and do it all again, especially after hearing how sincere and how thoughtful he was in that entire process, I think they would like to have a do-over.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Now that being said, AFC South, who do you have winning that division?
Who do I have winning that division? That's the toughest division. I'll tell you who I don't have winning the division first, and I'm kind of gonna back into it.
Okay.
I don't think Tennessee can win the division because of their issues at the quarterback. I think Tennessee has the best offensive line in that conference, and I think that their run game is going to be extremely strong. Yeah. And they're going to give people trouble because of that.
Yeah, Henry.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now they do have Lewan that's suspended for the first 4
Taylor Lewan, he'll be suspended, and therefore is when it makes it easier for me to make the decision, not to let them win the division. But I think the easy answer would be Houston. But I have trouble with teams that don't have offensive line. And Houston's offensive line is one of the worst in the league. And so I think Deshaun Watson's going to be running for his life. But if anybody can do it, Deshaun Watson can. So I'm going to say Jacksonville. Because I think on both sides of the ball, assuming that Nick Foles can get the continuity of the offense, and if we can see anything close to the Nick Foles that took over Philadelphia, that defense is real. Without a doubt, they're real. And they added Josh Allen to the mix this year.
He's a beast. I watched him in preseason the other day. He's every play.
He's wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
So I firmly believe they have the run game. Their offensive line isn't great. But I wouldn't put it in the top of the league or the bottom of the league. And I believe with that defense and they have some offensive weapons. They have some issues. I like D.D. Westbrook, but after D.D. Westbrook on the outside, I don't really think Marquez Lee. When he gets healthy, but I believe I just can't bet. And, with Houston not having Jadeveon Clowney, I don't know how that's going to impact their defense. So I'm looking at a bad offensive line and a defense that doesn't have Jadeveon Clowney and an aging Watts. And so I think that they're going to have a little more trouble. Lamar Miller wasn't a great running back, but he was steady. He was steady. At this point, I really believe that Houston is probably going to end up picking up another running back, every down back, once these cuts happen. I wouldn't be surprised if LaShawn McCoy gets cut and ends up somewhere that's a prediction.
That's a good prediction. Yeah. Okay. For me, I actually was thinking Jacksonville as well. I initially, when I did these picks by myself, if y'all saw my video earlier, I think I picked Indianapolis. That was based off of Andrew Luck being there. Andrew Luck is one of those quarterbacks that can make an average team great.
They would be my pick because they have the best offensive line in that division and probably the best offensive line in the league.
Good. Right. With the guard, Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, Quentin Nelson and a few others.
So I am going to lean with Houston. Houston in the news, about trading Jadeveon Clowney. And possibly picking up Laramie Tunsil from Miami. I think that's something that's been out there. That's brewing out there. It may not happen because I don't think Miami wants to give up Laramie Tunsil. But at the same time, I think Deshaun Watson now is no doubt the best quarterback in that division. He has the best wide receiver possibly in the league.
Oh, absolutely. Arguably.
Right. The guy doesn't drop passes.
Yeah,
I think he had literally did not drop a pass last year.
Zero.
So I mean, when you got that combination, and then you got Will Fuller maybe coming back healthy, Kiki Kuti in the slot. I like Will Fuller when he's healthy, but
he's hell when he's well, but he stays sick.
Right. So you know that is that's a big question for them, but I still think that they have more talent. You know, J.J. Watt, even though he's older, he's a beast. And he kind of came back last year to that form that he was 2 years ago when he was dealing with a lot of injuries. I just think they have the most talent. I think Jacksonville will be second. I think Jacksonville will push for a playoff spot. Jacksonville has probably one of the top defenses I think they'll push for a playoff spot.
This is the thing. I don't think that this is the division that can get two teams into the playoffs. I think this is probably the worst division in the AFC.
Right.
So I don't think
Tennessee. That's one of the things they just don't have a quarterback. I think their best quarterback is probably Ryan Tannehill. I think Tannehill would end up starting.
I think Tannehill will start
sometime during the year.
Not opening week.
Not opening week, but
maybe if not opening week, because I think
right. You think? And then who we got? So we talked Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Tennessee. I think Indianapolis will finish third in that division, and I think Tennessee will pull up the rear. The most important person in that division, to me, is going to be Nick Foles in that division. If Nick Foles, he's definitely better than Blake Bortles, but if he can get the ball, because I like D.D. Westbrook. I think D.D. Westbrook, and then they got the guy from LSU, DJ Shark, who's a speedster. If he can kind of settle into that number 2 position, I think Marquise Lee is a 3. You know, but if they can get some outside play. Leonard Fournette is going to keep 8 in the box, especially early in the year. They're going to, but if they can hit some deep shots with those receivers, if Foles can hit those shots, I think Jacksonville will be trouble.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville's formula to success is going to be defense and run game, and you'll be able to get the big plays over the top because of people trying to stack the box. And maybe, and once again, Nick Foles, I think I would call him a wild card versus the most important player in that division. The most important player in that division post Andrew Luck is Deshaun Watson. That's who I would, because the only way you can rescue Houston's offense is going to be with strong quarterback play.
Right.
And he has to have his best year of his career in order to make Houston. As a matter of fact, in order to be able to save Bill O'Brien's job, I think he's going to have a monster year.
Okay.
And I am not willing to bet on that right now. I feel more comfortable with the defense and the run game of Jacksonville in the weakest conference, in the weakest division in the AFC.
Okay. All right. So that's our predictions for the AFC South. And now we're going to go out to the West, the AFC West. Don't look like that. So in the AFC West, of course, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, the Oakland Raiders, the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Denver Broncos. So your team is in this division, so I'm gonna let you lead off this one. What do you have?
I'm going to try to be as non-biased as possible. I may have to recuse myself from making a prediction, but as you know, fantasy football, I very seldom really like to pick Oakland Raiders, and
right.
I don't like because I don't like to have bias when I make decisions about who I like to win or lose or fantasy and that type of thing. But I'm going to just start by talking about my Raiders. I think people are truly sleeping on our offensive line right now. I truly feel that we'll have a top 5 offensive line. We have, when I say we, Oakland, we have all of our skilled position players are brand new. We don't have any carryover from last year at the skill position. Wide receivers, tight end, running back, all new, all vastly upgraded. Our defense, people truly don't understand the importance of having Vontaze Burfict in that to call that defense, who knows that defense from Cincinnati, from working with Paul Gunther in
Mhm.
Cincinnati. He understands that defense in and out. Our linebacking core is vastly improved. We got LaMarcus Joyner from the Rams.
Mhm.
He was the
Good.
best defensive back in the open market and free agency. He's probably, I think he is rated as the best slot defensive back in the league.
Mhm.
So I think our defense is going to be significantly improved, especially with the rookie. The rookies are looking really good. Cleveland Farrell is looking awesome, and as well as Abrams in the
Mhm.
secondary. So if you're thinking that the Raiders are the same Raiders of last year, they're on paper. 2 year, Derek Carr having another year in that Gruden offense with weapons. He had
Mhm.
no weapons last year, so
Right.
every stat that he put up last year was with nothing.
Okay.
So let's just take them aside. The obvious choice is going to be Kansas City.
Mhm.
Obviously, the most important player in that division is going to be Patrick Mahomes. I'm a hater on everybody in the AFC West, so you're not going to hear me say too many good things. I believe that Kansas City's backfield is not going to be as strong as it's been in the past. They have a lot of issues in their secondary. They've lost the safety Eric Berry. He's no longer there. They picked up Matthew, the Honey Badger.
Right.
So they picked him. Tyrann Matthew. Tyrann Matthew. They picked him up. So that's a good thing. But and Chris Jones on the defensive line is super strong. They're going to have to win. They're going to have to outscore everybody that they play against. I really like San Diego.
Los Angeles.
I'm sorry, you're right. Man, I'm almost 30-some years. 38 years as a Raider fan. 30 more than that.
I got you. Oh yeah.
And
they have outs. I got you.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think what's gonna really hurt for them is Derwin James' injury.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna really hurt that defense. And they also, I think Perriman I think he may have gotten hurt again. So that's the middle linebacker. And I think that without Gordon, because everybody want to say that you can just replace with Austin Eckler or Justin Jackson, or that those guys could take up the workload of Gordon. I'm not sold. Once again, I think for sure Denver's the worst team in that division.
Right.
Without a doubt, I would bet that.
Mm-hmm.
So quickly, Oakland number 1, Kansas City number 2, San Diego number 3, Denver number 4. Drop the mic.
All right.
Bam.
No biases.
No biases.
All right. So now in the AFC West, I'm sorry. I like what the Raiders are doing. I think the Raiders are going to be significantly better. They can challenge for 9 or 10 wins this year. I can see that. I can see the weapons, but
got the toughest schedule in the NFL. How did that happen?
I don't know how that happened,
yeah.
But I just think Patrick Mahomes is a difference maker in that division. He has weapons on the outside, like you said. I like Damian Williams in the backfield, but they don't have the depth that they had before in the backfield. Mm-hmm. So that will be an issue. But they added Hardman from Georgia, who's a speedster. So you got Tyreek Hill, Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce. They got weapons all over the field. He may not throw for 50 touchdowns this year, but I can see him throwing for 40. And that the offense is, like you were saying, they're going to have to outscore people. Mm-hmm. But I think they have offense built to outscore people. They
got the second best offense in the AFC West, but I'm cool.
Right. Yeah. And I think that Matthew is actually an upgrade from Barry at this point in their careers, because Barry coming off injuries, he still hadn't been signed yet.
Yeah, he hasn't been signed.
He's still
free agent. People are just scared of
that injury.
Talent wise,
and then I remember at the end of that playoff game, Gronk got him. At the end, it caused him, got Barry on the outside 1-on-1 but that's Gronk. That's Gronk. But I still like Kansas City, number 1 in that conference, and I suspect Oakland and Los Angeles to battle it out for second. I can see both of them being 9-10 games. I know. I know in my previous prediction I picked Oakland to finish third, and I think I picked them at 9-7 or something like that, which I think will be an improvement. But I've actually been watching a lot of them too, and I like what they got on the outside. Not even counting Antonio Brown, with Terrell Williams and the rookie Keelan Doss. Is that his name? Keelan.
He's fighting for a spot on the roster. But you got we got Grant and we got
Ryan Grant.
We got Ryan Grant. We got so you got Terrell Williams, AB, Ryan Grant, and somebody else will come to me here in a second.
Yeah. But I think Doss I think has earned a spot on that team. I think Doss will get the fun, and I like his size. I want to say he's like 6'3", 220. He's a big guy that can high point the ball very well.
He looks good, but preseason, man.
It's preseason.
It's preseason.
But somebody got to make.
He'll make the team. He's gonna make. He's gonna take. I think he'll probably Marcel Altman will be the odd man out.
Yeah.
One of the receivers that were on the team last year that probably won't be that issue.
Yeah, I think Aitman. Yeah. I think he's worked his way in there, and I love Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs is going to be a beast. I think Josh Jacobs is going to probably put up 1,000 rushing yards and 700-800 receiving yards. He'll push for 2,000 all-purpose yards, I think. So I think he's going to be a beast. I think Oakland is going to be a lot better. I love what they've done on defense. I love their linebacking core with Burfict and the guy they picked up from Denver,
Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall. Mm-hmm. And so they have some depth.
Tahir Whitehead.
Yeah. If they get some push up the middle, I mean, they got Farrell on defense. I mean, they play 3-4, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking Cleveland Farrell off the edge. I don't know what they got pushing up the middle.
We just picked up. What's the guy's name from San Diego? We just.
Nothing. But if they get a push up the middle, they're gonna hurt somebody. They're gonna surprise some teams. They're gonna, hopefully not week 5, but other than that, but other than that, I root for the Raps. I think the Raiders will do well this year. Denver, Joe Flacco just doesn't do it for me anymore. And they have some talent. They got some good receivers out there, Emmanuel Sanders. But I don't.
No, they don't scare nobody. They don't scare. Yeah. They scare no one from the backfield, from the quarterback, or from the receivers. Right. They don't even know who their tight end is going to. Tight end.
Yeah, but just having surgery or something like that. Again.
So I think that the best thing that they have going for them is their pass rush and Chris Harris on the back end.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, they got those 2 ends coming off the edge. So.
Yeah. Chubb is there. Yeah. I put that a little small, so I believe when they play the Raiders, it's going to be on Monday. It's going to be a smash mouth.
Yeah, I agree. And the most important person in that division, I'm going to say, it's going to be Derek Carr. I think he's the most important. I think he has to forget about last year, go back to the year before. Was it 2 years ago when he was an MVP candidate? A couple of years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
So and I remember that year, the Raiders pulled a lot of games out the hat. They had a lot of fourth quarter wins and everything like that. Yeah. Derek Carr has to go back to the form he showed 2 years ago for the Raiders to be effective. If not, you got the Peterman. You don't want the Peterman out there.
Listen, I firmly believe that you can't compare this team to that team. This roster has completely been turned over and almost at every position and in several positions deep. It's not many players that's on this roster from that year.
Yeah, got to show me. You got to show me. He got the talent.
Listen, you got the radar right here. I want to stay here.
Right.
I want to stay under.
Stay under the radar.
Under the radar, and then people. Let's see where
that's going to be interesting.
That's going to be
That's going to be interesting because a lot of people don't think the Raiders are going to do much, but I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be significantly better, and pushing for second.
We thank you. We thank you for your somewhat support.
Hey man,
but at the end of the year, we'll have. We'll see what happens. We'll revisit
this conversation
at the end of the year.
All right, and finally in the AFC, where we got the East,
Yes.
All right, so we got the Patriots, the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins.
So we're basically having a conversation for who's going to finish second.
Yeah.
And it won't be Miami. It's going to be between the Bills and the Jets. The Jets are having issues in their secondary, in their cornerbacks. Their safeties are strong. Mm-hmm. Their defensive line is in the top 2 in the league with the force that they're going to be getting from the defensive line. But they just lost. Didn't they lose? Did they lose a middle linebacker? Yeah, they lost Mosley.
It wasn't Mosley. It was another middle linebacker, but he was the starter. They played a 3-4 as well. Yeah, the other starter tore his Achilles or something like that.
Yeah. So, but I like what I'm seeing from Sam Darnold. Mm-hmm. He's looking good. His arm is looking live. And he's accurate. And with Robbie Anderson on the outside, you got Anukwa. They got questions at the tight end, but Le'Veon Bell, people truly underestimate the value that he brings. Mm-hmm. He'll move the chains, and not only that, he can cover up some of the holes they may have on the offensive line because he's not your traditional follow the offensive lineman to the hole. Mm-hmm. He kind of does his own thing,
right?
And he's extremely patient, and he's just
one cut, big
exactly.
One cut
he's kind of unorthodox.
Very
unorthodox, and I believe that it translates to in any year or almost any offensive line he'll ball out.
Right.
So with him there, I really like Buffalo's defense, and I'm liking what Josh Allen is bringing at the quarterback position, and they have a lot of questions at receiver. I love Zay Jones, even though he went through our draft undrafted. Right. Yeah. I scooped. You saw I scooped him up quick. I forgot that. I thought he was already drafted.
Right.
So I scooped him up quick. I like Buffalo, but if I had to, based on the team in general, I think I would say the Jets is going to be New England's closest competitor.
Okay. All right, so in the East, of course, Patriots. 20 years. You just not much you can say about the Patriots. I like that. I like the draft pick of N'Keal Harry. I think he's going to be very important for that team.
Yeah,
he's going to be very important. And Josh Gordon coming back,
probably a little bit more important.
Even more important.
Yeah.
So I think they'll win that division by 3 games. I actually like the Jets to finish second in that division. I like Sam Darnold, what he's doing. He's doing a lot of good things for the Jets, and I think they're going to keep getting better. With Le'Veon Bell is going to keep it's going to be his right hand man. A lot of dump offs. He's going to have 80 catches more than likely, and Ty Montgomery actually as a backup.
Oh yeah.
He does, lower level, but he does. He's a good receiver out the backfield.
Yeah. He's a receiver first.
Right.
That was his first role as a receiver. So he will be. I think he'll be one of the best third down backs in the league. Mm-hmm. That would be my prediction.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I like that. The Bills will finish third, and in saying that, Josh Allen is my most important player in that division. I think as he goes, if he can improve his passing, because he can actually run. I want to say he was second or third in the league in rushing for quarterbacks last year. So he moves the sticks, and I think he can cause trouble. He will be the difference between them finishing second and third. I think it's going to be based off of him. They have a tough defense.
I think we got to put that little caveat about being the most important player in that division, because we know the most important player in that division is Tom Brady.
Well, he's the best player in that division.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. He's super important because if something happens to him, the Patriots won't not go to the Super Bowl without him.
That's very true.
And so,
although Stidham from Auburn has been playing a little bit.
They've been beat up on the offensive line.
That's true.
Their offensive line, they just made a few trades, and so but I think they're kind of trying to hustle to get their piece together a solid offensive line. Wynn out of Georgia was a guard in college. They got him playing left tackle. That's how they drafted him as a left tackle. He's a little short for the left tackle position, but he's got long arms. I think he can handle. I know he can handle it pre-injury. you know, towards ACL last year. So I don't know how strong he's going to be.
Right.
You know, I don't know. But I think that defense is actually going to be, I hate to give them credit because after the Tuck rule, there's no other team that I dislike more than the Patriots.
The Patriots. I got you.
But that defense is I think they're going to be tough. They're going to be super tough.
Right. And I'll tell you what, the Dolphins. I don't like, you know, the Dolphins will probably finish last in that division, but if they get Jadeveon Clowney, they find a way to pull off Jadeveon Clowney and get Jadeveon Clowney out there. I think they'll compete. I think they'll compete. They suffer from that, you know, that starting quarterback position, not knowing really, you know, they want to go with Fitzpatrick, but Fitzpatrick gives you, you know, history tells you he gives you about 5 or 6 good games at the beginning of the year, and then he's back to Fitzpatrick.
And then he's going to be Fitzpatrick.
So my deal is go ahead and start Rosen. I think give Rosen the ball and see what you got. See what you got in him.
Listen, man. Half a dozen in one hand, half a dozen in the other, because there is not a dozen there.
That's true.
So they either way they're going to have trouble because Rosen's not going to win many games. Fitzpatrick's not going to win many games, especially given all the weaknesses that they have all over the place on that team.
Right. Tanking for two.
They will be right there at the top of the draft as well, and finishing last in that division. So I would have New England, Jets, Buffalo, Miami.
Yeah. Okay. So good. All right. So I tell you what, we did the AFC today. We're going to give you the NFC a little bit later on. So we're going to go ahead and finish this video on out. But we appreciate you guys coming by. I will be sending emails, or I won't be sending emails. Y'all send me emails with questions that we can answer for you. Family and friends, you know what this is about. We just talking football. So we appreciate y'all. And just wait on up for the next one. Thank y'all. All right.
Have a great year.
Yes.